Hello everybody, this is Somni, and wherever you are, I hope that you're doing very well. As you know, it's Halloween, and it's also Day of the Dead. Depending where you are in the world, some of you might already know what Day of the Dead means. It's a celebration in Latin America. It's a tradition made up of two worlds, which is the Native American tradition and the Catholic religion. And there's a whole explanation and story behind these traditions, and I think it would take hours and hours to go through it extensively. So this is a short ASMR version, which I hope that you will enjoy. I'll explain to you a little bit about Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. So make yourself comfortable, and I hope you don't get too scared. And I will share with you some items, and I'll explain to you what their significance is. So let's begin with the show and tell. And the other thing I would like to mention is that as I show you some of the items, you will also get to learn a little bit about myself, as this is one of my favorite times of year. So the Day of the Dead is a tradition that is a little bit different in different countries of Latin America. The most popular one is Mexico, and the way that they celebrate it is very colorful, and there's nothing really depressing about it. And I know that other people who are not familiar with Day of the Dead, they sometimes they find it a little bit dark, a little bit macabre and creepy. And I hope that this video helps you to understand some of it. Now, I didn't get all the items that people usually use during this event. I'll show you what I have so far. So the most popular one is the sugar skulls, and sometimes they're made of chocolate. They're also edible. And here I have a few. They also come in different depictions of humanity, such as careers, and depicting people of all walks of life, different shapes and sizes. You'll see smaller skulls and big ones. And as you can see, there's a green one, purple, orange, blue, and yellow. And I do have more. There's pink, another green one, and of course, cannot forget the color red. I'm not originally from Mexico. I am from El Salvador, and I did grow up in California, and the Mexican culture is well alive in that state. So this is something that I grew up with. In El Salvador, we celebrate Day of the Dead differently. It's usually one day only, which is November 2nd. Whereas in Mexico, it's celebrated for 2 days, November 1st and November 2nd. If I remember correctly, November 1st would be to focus and observe the souls of children, and November 2nd would be to remember those who have passed away, and that would be the adult And the skulls, it basically represents death. It's pretty straightforward. One of the things that you'll see during these traditions is an altar, and the altar contains skulls. It contains bread of the dead, that is pan de muerto. This is edible, and this is an offering that you make to those who have passed away. And people also will cook the special meals that their loved ones enjoyed. They'll also burn incense. They'll burn cigarettes, especially if it was someone who was a smoker. They'll have beverages, they'll have oranges, lots of flowers. I remember when I was living in El Salvador, I was a child, and on November 2nd, we went to the cemetery, and it was unbelievably packed, and there was nothing depressing about it. It was actually a very peaceful and loving environment. I just cannot explain. It's not overly positive, and it's not overly negative, because you are remembering those that you loved and cherished. And you see people cleaning the tombs and decorating them with flowers. You will see people playing their favorite music, so they'll bring musicians, and there's lots of live music. You'll see people carrying plates of food, and they'll place it on top of the tomb, because that is an offering to the person that you loved. Another thing that you will see in the altar are, and I'm just going to move this away temporarily. I'm going to leave one skull because it has to be present. It's very important. So I'm going to choose a red one. There we go. The things that you see at the altar represent the 4 elements. So that would be earth, fire, wind, and water. I don't have all the representations. I do have a few to represent air. You'll see these cutouts of paper with images of skulls. So on this one you can see 2 of them. I'm just gonna spread it out a little bit. It's much more noticeable when they're hanging from the ceiling. So here you can make out some of the features. This would be the top of the head, the 2 eye sockets, the nose, and these are the teeth. And here's the second skull. Again, the same features. And over here, you can see its ribs. So this would represent air. I have 2 more to show you. And of course, they come in all different colors. That's one of the things about Day of the Dead, is that it's not really a somber tradition. In Mexico, you will see lots of colors, very bright colors. There's nothing gray or white or any monochromatic colors. You'll see everything. It's black and red and blues and yellows. It's a very vibrant tradition. here is another one in lime green. Now I'm going to explain a little bit what you might be able to see here already. It's a very famous character. I think some of you already know who it is. This is La Catrina. The Catrina. And this is a silhouette depiction, and she is kind of like kissing a bird. She's holding the bird, so this is her arm, her forearm, her hand, and these are the bird's legs. And here you can see her teeth in the bird's beak. It's basically going up to her mouth. It looks like she's giving it a little kiss. Here's her eye socket and her gorgeous hat decorated with flowers. And of course, this is a gorgeous garment. It's a high neck dress with ruffles. Beautiful, gorgeous dress. And of course, here you can see some flowers and other decorations. Some of these paper cutouts are so intricate. You can spend a good 15 minutes just admiring the artwork. Now, some people do cut these out by hand, and others are mass produced. I do have another image of La Catrina. This is a gorgeous purple paper cutout, and this is her iconic image. Again, she's wearing the gorgeous hat. She's smiling. And I just want to explain a little bit about the origins of her name. Before I get into explaining more about her history, I just want to remind everyone that the history is very extensive, very elaborate, and I will leave some resources for you to read in the description box. And again, this is only a short version, so I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want anybody to say, oh, you got this wrong, etc., etc. This is just a brief summary. Nevertheless, I do hope that you find it somewhat educational. In the late 19th, early 20th century, I think this would be like around 1910, 1905, men, they used to wear a specific outfit, and it was usually pinstripe, a really nice suit jacket, a nice hat, and a cane. And men who dressed very well in that style were called el Catrin. Now, this is not a good depiction. I'm just going to bring it up closer so that you can see the spelling of the word. There we go, el Catrin. An equivalent in English would be dandy, D-A-N-D-Y, or the expression when they say you look very dapper. And so as you can see, it's el Catrin. So it's referring to a man. So when the artist depicted death, it was a female because death in Spanish is feminine. It's la muerte. So of course, because she was created around the same time period, and it was by the illustrator Rosae Guadalupe Posada. He named her La Catrina. In other words, he's calling her dandy, but it's the female version. I think many people think that Catrina is her first name, as in Catrina, Catherine. But no, it's a reference, it's the female version of El Catrin. And it's very specific to her because it's death. In Halloween or during the Day of the Dead, you will see men and women or couples dressed as el Catrín and la Catrina. So it's the male and female version of death. So I'm just gonna pull this away so that I can show you other items. I'm going to bring out my skulls to help me out. There we go. Got a purple one. A green one. There we go. And a blue one. As I mentioned earlier, you see a lot of flowers. And again, these are offerings to your past loved ones. And you see so many colors. You see orange, especially orange, a lot. Such as the color of the bracelet I'm wearing. I'm just gonna show it to you closely. Now this bracelet, I got it in California, and I bought it at a little shop that is owned by one of Native Americans, and she's from Mexico. Another thing that I forgot to mention is that I am Native American as well. And so I'm always looking for accessories and decorations that are from that tradition. I do speak some words in Nahuatl, which is one of the languages of some indigenous groups in Latin America. And I remember when I purchased it, I was talking to the shopkeeper. I told her that I wanted to buy it because I would like to wear something like this for Day of the Dead. And she was very pleased because it's as I mentioned, it's a Native American tradition mixed with European influences, the Catholic religion, and together this tradition was born. To be more specific, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it comes from the Aztecs. Now, some interesting things do happen during Day of the Dead. Some people say that they feel a very strong energy and that they do feel that their loved ones are around. They feel their presence. And some of the